Everybody, welcome to another episode of Personal Mastery Training. Like the name says, personal, and it's mastery. It's about mastering that 3-pound mass between your ears, because once you can master that, you've got everything on lock. Because, the world outside of us, it continues to change, whether it be a pandemic, whether it be whatever it is outside. But the whole goal is, can we master our own world? Can we become the masters of our own fate? And that's what this is about. And what I do 2 episodes. I do a strategy episode, which is where I talk about a certain topic that I want you to think about. I want you to dissect it. I want my audience to journal on it. Agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. I just want you to think about this concept. So that's called a strategy session. The next one is a masterclass. I get someone in here who I perceive as on their journey, unpacking their life and looking to get better every day. And this is this person that I have on right now. And, I met her probably under a year, but her relentless pursuit of mastery in her craft is why I wanted to get her on here and unpack it and, pull the nuggets out. So I want to introduce Amanda Jean. Love seeing that name. Amanda Jean. So here's a quick bio on Amanda, and I'll let her tell you the rest of it. Amanda is a head coach and owner of AJF and AJF Studio. She started her own fitness journey in 2012 as an outlet to improve mental health and completely change her life, both inside and out. She fell in love with fitness and nutrition and discovered that her passion for helping other people transform and learn to thrive in their own lives through fitness as well. That's her passion. Amanda is insanely passionate about all things fitness and nutrition, has been coaching for 7 years. She created AJF Community to help unite and empower others to reach their full potential. So that's Amanda. Amanda, welcome to Journey. Well, I used to call it Journey to Personal Greatness. Welcome to Personal Mastery Training.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Awesome.
Honored to be a part of it. And yeah, definitely the description you start with there about being on your journey in pursuit of your own mastery. I mean, that sums up what we're all doing here perfectly, right?
Love it. Love it. Awesome. And I see you doing that. I see you with humility, you're working towards, and you recognize your weaknesses and you're looking to fill them. And that's what everybody can see. There's no ego there. It's just about you offer help to others. So that's a big thing I noticed with you. Mm-hmm. Now, tell us about your coaching. Tell us where you are now. So we're going to start there. Where you are now, where are you located? You're in Canada.
Yep, I'm in Canada. I'm in Waterloo, Ontario.
Mm-hmm. I
have a private one-on-one coaching only gym. Right. We do private personal training, online coaching, and nutrition coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm obviously owner of the gym, and then I take on clients myself along with my other coach. And we just are all about helping clients create a balanced, healthy lifestyle that allows them to thrive and transform both internally and externally. That's super important to me because, as you kind of mentioned there, I got into this originally for mental health for myself. And then from there, it was kind of a domino effect that just ignited a passion.
Love it. How many people you have working with you now?
So I tend to cap myself out at 30 clients personally. And my coach does the same, my other coach as well. So, I mean, as we continue to grow, the exciting thing is we're able to help more and more people, right? I'm just one human. So the goal is always, to continue to be able to help as many people as possible.
Awesome. And you've been growing since I've met you. You've been growing leaps and bounds in the last few, months. You've been really just accelerating.
Yes. And I think we met it would have been July or maybe in the spring.
I think
less
so.
Than a year for sure.
Yeah. And I've just watched it. Phenomenal. And one of the things Amanda is great at is taking a lot of people. We can learn a lot of things, go to seminars, and we can learn today. In today's world, information is not the issue. It's the application is the issue. Because there's a quote a mentor of mine said to me, and he says, information it's either entertainment, or if you're not going to apply it, it's just cheap entertainment at the end of the day. So Amanda, though, is a great one on taking the information and applying it. So where does that come from? Where does that dedication to application come from?
I mean, to be honest with you, I've always even as a child, I was a bit of a teacher's pet growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I've just always been a really high achiever, perfectionist. That's kind of just always been my thing. And I've always loved learning all through school. I was that kid that was always putting their hand up, staying late after class to help the teacher. I've just always loved that. So, you know, anytime I've gathered new knowledge, especially over the past year, growing with TRM, and, you know, when we met, I'm eager to apply it. I'm excited because it means that's going to allow me to unlock a new level, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, you're a great mix between, so a lot of people, when they call themselves perfectionists, oftentimes they become almost disabled. They can't make a move because they're trying to be so perfect. You're a good mix of quote unquote perfectionists, but you are willing to move forward imperfect and move towards perfection. What's that mindset that you take to, if you claim yourself to be a perfectionist, how does someone out there listening say, I'm a perfectionist too, but I can't make that move? I get stuck, overwhelmed, paralysis analysis.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I think I've learned you lose more by not making a move than you do by making a move and doing it wrong. Right. And for, you know, my start as a personal trainer was actually at a corporate gym at Good Life. And I was there for 4 years. And for 4 years, I always wanted to make a move and start my own business and leave and go on my own. But I was scared of not doing it right and of failing as a result. And I think making the move to leave and taking that leap and then succeeding made me realize, even if you're not perfect, if you take a leap, you learn through the process and you grow and you learn how to become better anyways. Right.
Yeah. How did you bridge that? How did you bridge? Because a lot of people are, you know, scared. The fear of failing is what stops a lot of people. You know, I want it perfect first before I move. You know, I want to get all my T's crossed, my I's dotted before I make a move. How did you move from this security of the job to, geez, this uncertainty, this world that if I get out and I fail, I'm going to fall on my face?
I think for me, it was the realization, and I can't pinpoint when exactly this clicked, but there was a realization at a certain point that if I never took the leap, the reality was my future would be the same as the present, right? I would be still at a corporate gym, or I wouldn't get anywhere, right? So it was the realization that there were two choices. There was the choice to stay the same but be safe, or take a risk and potentially get to a level I'd never experienced before. And for me, the risk of staying the same was greater than the risk of moving forward at a certain point.
Just listen to that one, everyone. You know, the staying the same for Amanda, and this is it for few people too. Staying the same, that state was way more painful for you than taking that chance of moving forward. So when the pain of staying the same gets too much, that's when people move forward.
Exactly.
And you bet on yourself.
Yeah. And that, I mean, I guess that applies for anything in life, right? Whether it's in your fitness journey or business or personal life, relationship. Yeah. At a certain point, you get to realize, you know, we only get one life. We only get one shot at this. And if we spend it staying the same, but unhappy, I mean, what are we doing at the end of the day? Right?
Ouch. Okay. All right. You're hitting them hard. All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about where you were then when you say you got into this from mental health. Let's go back to Amanda, you know, high school, whatever it is, wherever it was you were, you know, you got out of school and you got into fitness, start working for corporate, but where were you before? How'd you get into that mental state?
So out of high school, I went to university for originally communication studies and French. So I have a bilingual degree, fun fact. Obviously that's a very different path than what I ended up pursuing in my career. So it was throughout first year, I started to experience things that I hadn't experienced before with mental health. I started to experience panic attacks. insomnia, extreme anxiety. And this was very foreign to me, right? So I just started to feel less and less like myself. And, you know, I was on multiple medications for years, saw a psychologist, and I just felt like no matter what I did, it was a Band-Aid. I didn't feel like myself again. Right. And so, you know, I'm researching what else is there that could help. And I kept seeing when I'm researching, working out, stress relief, working out, mental health, right? And I was never into working out before, always horrible at sports growing up. And so I finally thought, you know, nothing to lose. I'm just going to try it. I'm going to start running, because that was the only thing that I knew how to do. That was straightforward. And I realized after any time I ran, my chest felt lighter. I could breathe deeper. I had more mental clarity. My anxiety was dimmer, right? So I thought, okay, this is something. And I started getting more and more into fitness, whether it was YouTube videos in my parents' basement or fooling around with the dumbbell set we had at home. I fell in love with it, because every time I did it, I felt that clarity, and I felt more and more and more like myself again. Right. So I essentially made a career switch midway through school. And I decided, you know what, like, this is clearly something that has the power to transform someone's life, not just internally, but externally as well, the whole deal. And that was when I made the decision to become a coach, to help other people feel that for themselves as well, essentially.
So again, I like to really dig in, and so any people listening, a lot of us, maybe not as much now, but I know from the generation of, you know, where your parents had an influence on you, everyone goes to school to kind of make their parents proud. You know, we're going to go off and we're going to study. You know, back in the day, it was, you know, my son or daughter is a lawyer, a doctor, and whatever. You know, those are the proud professions. And people go off and accountant and teacher, and sometimes I've met doctors who didn't even want to be a doctor, but they wanted to please their parents. You know, especially immigrant parents. They want to be proud that they came to this country and kind of give their kid better. And so Amanda is off. She's on, you know, doing communication studies, and all of a sudden, or even before that, she's going through these feelings of, you know, uncertainty, and leading to stress and anxiety and all kinds of feelings that are in a negative way. She gets a hint, a clue. My mentor calls it God wink. There's a moment when she gets this idea that, wow, fitness. And she takes it and runs with it. And now what I want us to really clue in on, and what I'm getting from her conversation, is she found meaning.
Exactly.
And now you're like unbelievably passionate about this journey you're on, because now she's working towards meaning instead of just, you know, pleasing everybody else outside. Is that kind of a good summary?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I think I enjoyed school always, right? I liked French. I really loved writing. That was why I went into communications. I thought, you know, maybe I could do something in PR or news media. But I can't say I truly felt that spark of passion until I found fitness.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to go with it. I knew I couldn't ignore it.
And listen to those words. Amanda said, I liked writing. I liked communications. I liked French. She mentions fitness, my passion. So right now, are you listening? Are you on a like what you do, or is it lighting you up, lighting up that fire? Because passion is related to fire. Now, Amanda is fired up every time I see her. She's fired up. That's why she's growing so rapidly, because she's actually on her path. So, what can you light that up? So now, once you started to grab a hold of, so now did you join the gym after you kind of discovered? Is that when you went to the corporate gym after you kind of got this spark?
Yeah. I mean, at first I didn't know what I was doing when it comes to working out.
Love
right.
it.
So,
Love
you know,
it.
I was playing around trying to learn how to work out in the first place. I got a membership at our university gym. I started going there. And then the more I got confident, the more I fell in love with it, the more I transformed myself, the more I realized, okay, I want to do this. I want to make this what I do every day as my career. So I joined Good Life, and I got my foot in the door, just talking to the people at the front desk. I kind of set it up so that as soon as I was done my degree, I had a job lined up for personal training. And I studied for personal training and for fitness and did courses for that. In addition to my degree, I kind of did them at the same time. So I was ready to hit the ground running as soon as I graduated.
Let's talk about this. So another nugget I picked out of that. Amanda had no clue about fitness. No, right? No clue. So again, listening to this, you go, there's something I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. So Amanda says, you know what? I don't even know how to, I never did fitness in my life. I'm not an athlete, quote unquote. That'll probably be the narrative in her head is I'm not an athlete. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm going to take the first step. So you don't have to know if you're struggling right now in your life and you're lost, right? You feel lost, but the thing you want, there's something that lights your fire, and you're going, but I don't even know how to do blank. I have no clue. And the narrative is I am not this, I am not that. Just get started. Amanda took the first step. She just put herself in the environment, the gym space. I didn't know what I was doing. You probably had a lot of imposter kind of feelings.
Absolutely. And I mean, to be honest with you, I'm very grateful my parents were supportive, because I can tell you there were absolutely questions from family members at gatherings and from friends. You graduate with a 4-year degree in communications with a minor in French, and you're working as a personal trainer at Good Life, right? Like what kind of career is that going to turn into?
Right.
But I just knew if I was passionate and I loved it, I would make it happen. Right. And I feel like that's the case with any career. If you genuinely love what you're doing, you're going to have the zest and the excitement about it. And you're going to be passionate enough to want to grow until you're successful and, have all the financial freedom and all the rest. Right.
How did you deal with then? So you led to another conversation here. So you come out again to the people outside of yourself. You had this, I want to be a trainer, and they're going, why would you waste 4 years of time and money going to university to come out to be a trainer? Are you nuts? Why don't you go on and become a teacher or whatever it might be? And now you pushed back because you knew you had this vision. So someone's out there now, they want to become whatever they are now. The doctor who I was telling you about wanted to actually be in the fitness, but he was pleasing his parents. How do you deal with that doubt that you had with a few? I mean, you had, I guess the key people trusted you, but you got a few naysayers that could have turned you around. What'd you do?
And I mean, I'll say there were absolutely several moments where doubt creeped in, right? I know a lot of the other personal trainers that I worked with, even at Good Life, they had been there for years and years and years. And they always said, one day I want to do this, one day I want my own gym, but no one ever did it. And absolutely, it got in your head, right? Because you think, okay, is this even possible? Can one succeed if they go on their own? Like that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I would always go back to that comparison, right? If I don't do it, what is my life going to look like? Do I want that? If I do it, what's the worst that can happen? I don't succeed right away, and I figure out a way to do better,
So in NLP, they have two personalities. They have the away from. So some people work to get away from, they don't want to be poor anymore. And some people are toward.
Mm-hmm.
So you are definitely a toward person, meaning that you see it and you weigh it and you go, I am going to jump. I'm going for this. Because staying here, although it's good, it's the enemy of great. You want to actually go to the next spot. So what I'm getting from Amanda is figure out who you are. Are you in a way, what drives you? What motivates you? Amanda is driven by, there's no way in hell I'm staying here. There's a goal ahead. I'm going to set a goal. I'm going to move towards it. Right? And again, she continues to think about that for a second as well. If we go back and look at her journey so far, the, borderlining anxiety, depression, whatever it might be, mental health in a certain part of her life. She said, no, I got a clue. There's a little pilot light. I'm going to go light it up. She moves towards it. There's some doubt about, putting in time in 4 years of university, coming out now. I'm going to start as a trainer in a gym, in a box gym with a whole lot of other trainers. But I'm getting my motivation. I'm learning. I'm giving up mediocrity to learn, to master my craft. I go tell my family, I'm going to go do this. They think you're crazy. Some think you're crazy. That was big enough. You could have stayed there, right? Become a trainer. At least I got a job. I can tell them I got a job. I'm working for an established big company. Cool. No, once again, you challenge it. Now I'm going to go on my own. Another leap again. Continuous leap, continuous leap, continuous leap. So you just continue to master. What do you tell somebody who's stuck right now about, your personality and how you continue to push the borders?
I mean, one thing that I always thought about as well, one thing that always kind of stuck out in my own head as well along the way is the fact that, at the end of the day, right? Say someone has a 9-to-5 job. Okay. That's 8 hours, 8 hours a day, right?
Yep.
You're spending most of your life working and sleeping, really.
Yep.
So if you don't enjoy your work, or you don't feel fulfilled or at least excited about it, you're spending most of your life sleeping and not excited, not feeling very good. Right.
Ouch. Yep.
So it's one of those things, like at the end of the day, no matter what we do, there's going to be a risk, right? Even if you have a comfortable job, we could be laid off. Some company could go under. There's always something that could happen. And there's always that unpredictability to our future in general. So why not say screw it and lean into at least the direction that we know we want,
right? Yeah. So you know what? During this whole podcast, when I do it with someone, I create a title at the end. I just finished with one of your colleagues, Jamie, and I called hers Just Jump, because that's her theme. Just jump. Here's what I'm calling yours: bet on yourself.
I like that.
Because you keep on betting on yourself. The theme here is, I would rather risk it than stay the same. I'm just going to bet on myself. I'm just going to keep doing this. And, I've got resources, and you're okay with learning, making mistakes at the beginning and learning. So what do you see for yourself? Where do you go now? So now here's Amanda, again, growing, the growth I've seen you do from the time I met you. What do you see? What's the big picture in the future for you?
There's a lot, to be honest.
Let's go. You know what? That's a big question. Let's go even 10 years. So Amanda, let's roll the clock forward now. Think about this for Amanda for a second. Add 10 years. So we're going to go 10. So it's now August 25th when we're recording this. And it's 2022. It's now 2032, and you're 10 years older. Where are you at?
I would say, the vision I have is in a studio space, double or triple this size, with, 6 to 8 coaches working for the studio. I'm overseeing everything, but not necessarily training full time. I'm kind of the head of a vision with a family, multiple kids, with the freedom to be in and out, but also continue to grow something I'm extremely passionate about. I would love to have a space where we not only have one-on-one coaching, but we also offer boot camps. We also have a space with, a massage therapist or a chiropractor on site. I want to build something much bigger than AJF is currently. And I want to continue to create a community.
You're right.
Above anything. Really make a name for myself in the industry, so that in this region of Ontario, if someone's thinking of a place to go where they can achieve a balanced, healthy lifestyle that truly allows them to thrive, they think of AJF first. That's the goal.
I love it. And a speaker I heard called it your crusade. That is your crusade. How do you make a difference? How do you impact and change, make AJF a household name? And for you, I'm seeing worldwide, really and truly. So book writing, is it books in your future, writing?
I love writing, to be honest with you. I mean, that's why I went into communications originally.
Right.
I was always that overachiever in advanced English throughout all of high school. So absolutely. I mean, that would be incredible.
Yeah. And that's going to happen. It's going to happen because, again, you look at how everything's lining up. You're using your mental health as part of your crusade. Your communication, you love writing. It's going to happen, and you're going to impact on a big, huge scale. Now, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. I see it. It's the way you. There's no pause in the way you delivered what you're going to do in 10 years.
It's a very clear vision. Yeah,
very clear. Comes out. Now, when we're talking about mastery, if we go back to the relentless pursuit of mastery, what does that mean to you? And how does Amanda Jean show up when she's reached that level of, there's no end, but when you reach a level that you are completely in alignment with who you are, how do you show up?
I mean, I think the key is in general, and I like what you said, saying that there's no end, right? Because I think part of the key is like doing something obviously that lights you up, where you feel like you have a purpose, you feel like you're making an impact on a greater scale, but also being hungry to continue to grow always, right? Not getting complacent, not getting comfortable, being hungry for that growth and development. And also recognizing that along the way, you're going to grow and develop as a person as well. And that's one thing I absolutely love about growing a business in general and growing in your career in general is, you do, if you're genuinely going all in on your dream and you're pursuing your passion as hard as you can, you're going to have to grow as a person along the way. And I find, anytime I've taken a big leap, so to speak, right? Or encountered an obstacle that I found particularly challenging along the way, when I overcame it, I became a better person for it. And I think that's a really cool thing to recognize as well. Comfort's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Yeah,
you got to be hungry for that.
Hungry, yes, that's a theme. So in summary, and then I'm going to ask you, last one is, how can someone get started with you? But so here's my summary, what I picked out, the nuggets I picked out from connecting with Amanda here today is: 1, get a purpose, right? So you're listening now, young, whatever age you are, you're stuck, feeling stuck. What lights you up? What are some clues when you're looking around your life? What are those moments that you get lit up? And you could do this thing for free, right? You could be at your job for the last 30 years, but it just doesn't light you up. But what does? What do you do in your hobby time that lights you up? You do it for free. 2, never be too satiated where you get stuck. Stay hungry. That's number 2 for me. Number 3, take risks. Just start. You'll jump, your wings will come out. Just start doing it. Be okay with learning the minimum viable product and learn as you go along. Just like how apps do. Some of the most popular companies, Google, Apple, they release these things and fix on the fly. They don't wait for perfect. Growth, always growing. Be fearful of staying the same, but always grow. And the last one is bet on yourself, because you have all the resources you need. You just got to bet on yourself and push through doubt, and you can do this. So that's kind of my summary for you. 5 steps to Amanda Jean Fit mastery.
I love that.
I love it. Love it. And so now, where can someone get more of you, get started with you? And what does a client get? What's the outcome that you offer your clients? And again, where can they get a hold of you?
Yeah. So we offer, all our coaching is very personalized. It's one-on-one private coaching, whether it's online or in person. We give clients detailed coaching with their nutrition, with customized workout programming. We really teach them how to create a lifestyle that is sustainable for them as well. So they can not only achieve results, but also maintain their results for the rest of their life. We're really big on education and actually, teaching clients the tools to then actually thrive for the long term. Yep. And balance is the cornerstone of everything, right? Developing that health, both internally and externally. So we have a website, amandajeanfit.com. You can also find me at amandajeanfit_ on Instagram. And we also have AJF team is our other Instagram handle.
Awesome. And that'll all be in the show notes as well. So awesome. In 10 years, there's a quote, me, I'm Mr. Quote Man. You've been knowing me for a bit now. Huh? And there's a quote that says, we overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in 10. So we all know what Amanda just told us is going to be a drop in the bucket, because 10 years from now, 2033, yeah, you'll hear about Amanda. I'm pretty sure you will. So Amanda, thanks. I appreciate you popping on here. We'll do this again because I have a feeling that we'll have to have an update sooner than later because it's going to be smashing it. So appreciate you jumping on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast, and I would love to come back anytime.
Awesome. I know there's going to be an update. All right, everybody. You know why I do this. I've been doing this relentlessly because I want you to be relentless about your pursuit for personal mastery, personal greatness. Don't get through your life, get from your life, get from your challenges, and you can do this. All right, on to next time. Peace and love.